Hi, Jer.
You look
I'm
tired.
whooped from
Look
this.
it.
Yeah. Been 110-hour week.
It's because you're getting old.
Yeah. Catching up to you.
You'll never catch me.
Hey, one time you were twice as old as me. I am catching you.
Well,
Do
could
the
be.
math. Do the math. Math works.
I'm even too tired to do that today.
Gotcha.
Okay, we are good.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. It is February 23rd. I'd like to first make a motion to come out of executive session. There was no action taken, and we exited at 7:50 p.m. And a second by Rick Rushniak. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried on that. Now we're ready for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag.
to the
Flag
flag of the
States
United
of
States of
America.
America
States of America.
and to the
the
republic
Republic which
which
stands
Stands
one nation
One
one nation,
under
under God,
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 indivisible,
with liberty
indivisible,
and justice for all.
liberty, and justice for all.
We have a moment of silence for our veterans. Okay, please be seated. And could we have a roll call, please, Madam Clerk?
Councilmember Christine Adamczyk,
Here.
Councilmember Linda Hammer,
Here.
Councilmember Gerald Kaminsky,
Present.
Councilmember Brian Noah,
Present.
Councilmember Brian Pilarski,
Present.
Councilmember Richard Rusiniak,
here.
and Supervisor Diane Benchkowski.
Here. Okay, 7 present. We have 2 public hearings tonight. Madam Clerk, I will hand over the floor to you to start the public hearings.
Okay, we had a call for a public hearing that was made at the February 9th Town Board meeting, Resolution 2021-68. Substantial amendment to fiscal year 2020 annual action plan under the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security's CARES Act. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, has allocated $864,606 to the town of Cheektowaga to be used to prevent, prepare for, and respond to the coronavirus COVID-19 crisis. Immediately following the public hearing, the town of Cheektowaga Town Board will vote to receive and administer the $864,606 in CDBG CV funding. All persons wishing to provide oral comments were to register with the town clerk by noon on Friday, February 19th, and written comments were to be sent to the Office of Community Development on the same day, due by that Friday, February 19th. No requests were received, but Rachel Straker is present.
Rachel, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. Can I share my screen, Kim?
Yep, and you should be good to go.
Can you see my presentation?
No.
No?
Nope.
What? Wait a minute.
There you go.
Okay. All right. So the purpose of today's public hearing is to provide the citizens of the town and all interested parties the opportunity to express their views and opinions on the proposed substantial amendment to the 2020 action plan for the town of Cheektowaga's allocation of CARES Act funding round 3 in order to address the COVID pandemic. HUD has previously approved a 5-day comment period for the submission of written public comments, which was held from February 12th through February 19th of 2021. All people wishing to provide oral comments tonight were required to register in advance by noon on Friday, February 19th, and no individuals registered. The town has been awarded round 3 CARES Act funding totaling $864,606. As part of the planning process, requests for proposals were sent to several town departments, in addition to various not-for-profit public service agencies, to understand the needs resulting from the COVID pandemic. As a result, the following is a breakdown of how the town plans to allocate these funds. Program administration in the amount of $86,126. These costs cannot exceed 20% of the HUD mandated cap and are associated with planning, oversight, reporting, and implementation of the CARES Act funding. Please note, we are only budgeting 10% of this allocation for this purpose, as we have funds remaining from round 1. The Summer Youth Lunch Program in the amount of $18,480. After much success with the 2020 Summer Youth Lunch Program, the Youth and Rec Department will continue its summer lunch program in conjunction with the federally funded National School Lunch Program and Summer Food Service Program. This funding will allow the program to operate June through August of 2021 and expand to include the Winston Vagola Park, in addition to the previously serviced Town Park and Cedar Grove Park. These funds will use to pay for staffing costs necessary to carry out this program. The Housing Stabilization Program Renter and Homeowner Assistance Program will be allocated $500,000. This program is an extension of our rental mortgage and utility program and will be handled by one of our partnership agencies, Belmont Housing Resources for Western New York. Under this program, rental and homeless prevention counseling will be provided, and those receiving services will also be eligible for up to $2,000 in financial assistance based on need. The assistance can be used for items such as security deposit for a new unit, next month rent, past due rent or mortgage, and or minimum needed to restore or obtain utilities. The Homeless Prevention Program will be allocated $100,000. This program will also be handled by one of our partnership agencies, the Western New York Law Center. This program will provide free legal services to homeowners affected by the COVID pandemic who are facing foreclosure lawsuits, those who are delinquent in their mortgages, or those with debt issues that might impact their ability to pay their mortgage. We also allocated $25,000 to a position of public service coordinator. The intention is for these funds to be utilized by an individual to connect residents of the town of Cheektowaga with public services available to them during the COVID pandemic, and on an as-needed basis, assist residents in the application process for those services. And finally, our business assistance program, after having many discussions with our consultant regarding our current program, we're looking to expand on the previous program to provide working capital to businesses in the town as startup costs associated with restarting or expanding operations. Expanding operations that were negatively impacted by COVID. And it also expands business eligibility and doesn't impose business size or sales volume restrictions, where the current program only allows businesses with 5 employees or less. That restriction is removed under this program. So in conclusion, some of these organizations and programs may also not have the need for funding as originally anticipated. And in those cases, affected budget lines will be adjusted accordingly and handled as outlined in our citizen participation plan. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Rachel, just myself, Diane Benchkowski here.
Mm-hmm.
The public services coordinator, which I think is a good idea. Can you subcontract that out like we do to Belmont, some of the services? And
yeah, that's still in the planning phase. It was kind of a last minute idea that we had conversations. So I have reached out to Child and Family Services to see if that's something that they can assist us with. So it's still in the preliminary stages, but they think that they might be able to assist us with that.
That would be wonderful, because there's somebody that has to connect the two together. And I think that's probably, I know you're overwhelmed in your department, so you can't do that.
And there's a lot of services that are available out there to everybody that they may not know about. So we're hoping to kind of streamline that and have one place that people can call to find out about all the services.
Correct. Okay. Anybody else? We don't have any comments from the public. So opening up to the board members.
Rachel, Rick Rishnak, nice work.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Okay, with that, I'm going to close this public hearing and we'll go on to the second public hearing. Madam Clerk?
Okay, we had a call for a public hearing that was made at the February 9th Town Board meeting, resolution item 2021-87, to consider and discuss, if need be, act upon the town supervisor being authorized to enter into a pilot agreement with Angela's House Development Fund located at 600 Dote Street for a period of 15 years pursuant to the terms of the agreement as negotiated by the town attorney and its outside counsel. All persons wishing to provide comments were to register with the town clerk by noon on Friday, February 19th. We did have one request to speak, and that was received by Ben Upshaw, who is the principal of CB Emmanuel and a representative of one of the developers.
Okay, Ben, I'll give you the floor. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to provide some bullet points regarding the project. The project, as mentioned, is the redevelopment of the western wing of the Villa Maria Convent located at 600 Dote Street. It is the former Villa Maria Academy. Felician Sisters of North America will remain owners of the property, and it is to be leased to an affiliate of CB Emmanuel and Delta Development. CB Emmanuel is a developer of affordable housing throughout the state of New York. Delta Development represents the development arm of the Buffalo Diocese and is an owner and operator of affordable housing throughout the Western New York region. The project is a 67-unit development composed of 65 one-bedroom apartments and 2 two-bedroom apartments. Residents for the project will be restricted to persons 55 years of age or older. Apartments and incomes will be restricted to serve senior populations and frail elderly at risk of homelessness due to medical or health impairment. There is a PACE program currently located on the Villa Maria campus for the public at large, as well as future residents of the project. This PACE program is available for Medicaid and Medicare eligible recipients and helps with the coordination of medical care, daily living, as well as physical activity for seniors. The pilot is needed to keep the project rents affordable for low to moderate income renters. It is estimated the project's rents are approximately $200,000 per year lower than comparable market developments. The property tax relief is needed to keep these rents affordable and to provide the services that tenants will need of the project. We're hoping to get your approval for this project so that we can begin construction in late March. The project has historically been property tax exempt. This is the first time the project will be paying any type of property taxes to the town, county, as well as the school board. We estimate that the project will be paying approximately $27,000 per year in property taxes for the next 17 years, and that increases at approximately 3% each year for now until for the next 17 years. And that is my presentation on the project.
Okay, good. Thank you, Ben.
You're welcome.
Any council members?
Thanks for the info, Ben.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna
Madam Supervisor, may I?
Yes, Steve, go
Thank
ahead.
you.
You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. First, I want to let everybody know I appreciate the opportunity to work on this. We worked very hard on it. I just want to clarify, it's actually a 15-year pilot, not a 17-year pilot. I think Mr. Upshaw said 17 in his presentation. I just wanted to be clear on that. The Cheektowaga School District has already approved this, I think within the last 2 or 3 days, and we received a signature from them. This has been through extensive negotiations, and we are at this point now, and it's really up to the board how you feel about it. I can tell you that I've told you this before when we were in a work session, you have a tremendous staff. I can't tell you this wouldn't have happened without the help of Jill and John. And Brian's always there in the background if I need something. You have tremendous people working for you. I want to thank you for the opportunity. I'm here to answer any questions if you have any. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. That is very appreciated. And I know my staff is appreciative of that too. And I agree with you. Anybody else?
No, I just think it's a great project, Diane. And I think it's one of those that's one of the neighborhoods we don't ever want to lose. And I think where it means a lot in my case, I grew up in that neighborhood, and it's going to be back. Yeah, and I'm just glad these people are there to help us.
Great. Thanks, council member. Anybody else before we close the hearing? With that being said, I will close this hearing. And sorry, excuse me. So I'll read the consent agenda announcement. Tonight, we have a consent agenda as part of this meeting. If any council member wishes to remove an item for discussion, please tell me now, and I will remove the item from the consent agenda, and it will be added as a separate resolution item.
Diane, I'd like to pull item 5, 2021-95.
2021-95.
Yes.
Madam Clerk, can you remove that for a separate vote?
Yep, just let me pull that. Give me 1 second.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve the meeting agenda as presented. Councilmember Hammer, seconded by Jerry Kaminsky. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Madam Clerk, we have the floor regarding the consent agenda.
Okay, so we have a motion by Supervisor Benchkowski and a second by Councilmember Kaminsky to approve all items on the consent agenda, including the meeting minutes of February 9th, 2021, and resolution items 2021-91 through 2021-100, recognizing that we have just removed resolution 95, and it'll be taken up as a separate resolution item. I need a roll call vote to approve the consent agenda. Councilmember Adamczak?
Yes.
Councilmember Hammer? Councilmember Kaminsky?
Yes.
Councilmember Nowak?
Yes.
Councilmember Pilarski?
Yes.
Councilmember Rusiniak?
Yes.
And Supervisor Benchkowski?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have one resolution item, that is resolution 2021-95. It is sponsored by Supervisor Benchkowski and seconded by Councilmember Adamczak. Highway Department is in need of 2 new and unused 2022 Peterbilt 567 tri-axle dump trucks. Monies have been appropriated in the Highway Department budget for the purchase said line 300.51302407. The town board hereby approves and purchase on 1 new and unused 2022 Peterbilt 567 tri-axle dump truck for use by the Highway Department as per the terms of Sourcewell's contract at the cost of $323,706, which includes the trade-in price of $25,000 for 2 2001 Volvo tandem dump trucks.
Anybody on the question?
On the question, on the resolved, it says that the town board hereby approves the purchase on 1 new. Should that say 2 new?
2 new, yes.
I've read this resolution like 4 times and I cannot believe that I just caught that.
Well, we have to make a motion to amend it. So you're making the motion?
I'm making the motion, Supervisor.
Okay. Okay, Councilmember Pilarski, second on the amendment. All in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the amendment is passed. Oh, wait. Linda Hammer, you're opposed to the amendment. Okay. So maybe we should do a roll call for the amended resolution, or the amendment at least.
For the amendment. Okay, so Councilmember Adamzak,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammer. Linda, can you unmute yourself? Or nod? Councilmember Kaminsky,
Yes.
Councilmember Nowak,
Yes.
Councilmember Pilarski,
Yes.
Councilmember Rusiniak,
Yes.
Supervisor Benchkowski.
Yes. Linda, did you vote yes on the amendment?
What was I supposed to vote? I wanted to.
All right, we're doing the amendment right
Just
now.
voting on the amendment, so yes, I'm voting yes on the.
On the amendment. Okay, I took the roll call because I thought you said no on the amendment, so.
Okay, so it was a unanimous amendment. We're good with that.
Right,
on
so
the-
we
and on
need
the
a
resolution.
question on the entire resolution. Anybody have any questions on that? Madam Clerk, can you just do a roll call, please, on the resolution?
Sure. Councilmember Adamzak,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammer,
I'm gonna vote no. I can't consciously vote on spending that much money in the midst of the pandemic and the budget crisis.
okay. Councilmember Kaminsky,
No.
Councilmember Nowak,
Yes.
Councilmember Pilarski,
Yes.
Councilmember Rusiniak,
Yes.
Supervisor Benchkowski.
No, under good conscience, I have to vote no too because of the pandemic, so. Not
Okay.
saying never, but the
Yeah.
timing is just, for me, I can't vote yes on it.
Diane, I'd
Yes,
just like to make some comments on it. I did some homework on this and I really worked really hard on putting numbers together. I mean, for the material that we run to this town, we spend $600,000 a year in outside services. That's what it costs to move this material that we buy. With these two trucks, if we only run 200 days a year, okay, hauling stone, hauling salt, hauling blacktop, that puts us at $288,000 a year in savings that each year, not over the course of the cost of the trucks, but that's a savings per year. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. And we're less than half of what we got to haul with them two trucks. We still have to haul double what we can do with them two trucks. And on top of it, a bonus, when we're not hauling salt and we're doing cul-de-sacs, moving snow, these trucks would come in handy. They're hauling 1.5 times the load of a standard truck, and they're haul trucks. We're replacing haul trucks. I looked online and looked at what we're getting on the residual. I looked at Auctions International. We're right there, same numbers. We got a good number on them. They're going for $11,000 to $14,000 a piece. So we're right there at the number. I mean, we could put them up for auction and hope to get a little more. Possibly could, but the trucks they're underpowered trucks. They do have, and they're not coming with any snow plows, nothing. That's all been cut off to reduce the weight. Those are the reasons why we need these trucks, because a snowplow truck has the wings, the plow, all the gear on the side. You're adding an extra 2,000 to 4,000 pounds on these things, and that takes away from your carry-on load. I think it's a good idea for what we're doing. It'll save the town money.
Hey, I want to add to what Councilman Rosiniak was saying about projected savings and all that. We have got an email from February 11th that talks about the per day rental cost on triaxles that have been on various streets through the town in prior years. We're spending as much as $900 a day to rent these trucks. Making the purchase is going to cancel out the rental fees. We've been told this this was 12 days ago. There's no refutation to that figure. That's been thrown around for 12 days. No one has countered that up to this point. And we've already saved $12,000 from salt hauling. Over the long run, what these trucks are going to allow us to do is slow the cost of per mile road repair. Those costs are going to grow no matter what. Purchasing these vehicles directly rather than renting is going to allow that to increase slower. We talk about holding the line on taxes. In my view, this allows us to hold the line better than relying on the rentals. You know, this is one of those things where there's honest differences of opinion on it. And I had great discussions with people that are on the other side of this issue, but we do have figures that show projected savings over the long run. And that's what I justified my vote on.
Thank you.
No, it's just,
Councilmember.
you know, Brian, I agree with you to a point, but one of the biggest things, I think Rick said it, about using these on a lot of the streets. You realize these trucks are 13 foot 5 inches tall. You go down a residential street, we won't be able to afford to replace trees. The additional loads put on the roads. We can argue it until the cows come home. I still think we're going in the wrong direction. We shouldn't be in the trucking business. Only time will tell. Projected numbers does not put money in anybody's pocket.
Anybody else? I respect everybody's opinion, and we have to expect, just respect everybody's opinion. We can't agree on this. However, it looks like the motion is passed 4-2. 4-3.
4-3.
Yes, so motion is passed. So thank you, everybody, for your input. Appreciate it. And you know what? I hope you guys are right, that we're going to save $288,000 next year.
Yeah,
So I won't
you
be
don't
budgeting
see it. Yeah, you
for
don't
that.
see it in your hand. It's spread out over different areas, but the money's there, and we'll bring the budget down.
Well, we're going to take the $288,000 out of the budget for next year. How's that?
There you go.
Okay, thank you, Rick. I really truly
Yeah.
hope that you're
I
right.
mean, I put some serious work into this.
I
It's-
appreciate that.
Numbers don't lie, and I got my numbers confirmed. So
Good. Yeah.
You did
I
good.
wish I would have had something more concrete if you had that. I didn't have it ahead of time from you. So, but thanks anyway. Okay, let's move on to the suspension of rules. I believe there are 6 items now, Madam Clerk.
I now have 7.
7. Okay. So I need a motion and a second to approve the suspension of rules.
Motion.
Motion by Linda, seconded by Chris Adamczak. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, resolution 1, Madam Clerk.
Okay, so resolution 1 is 2021-101. It's sponsored by Councilmember Hammer and seconded by Supervisor Benchkowski. Resolution number 2019-254 was adopted on May 14th, 2019, being hereby is amended per New York State General Municipal Law, Article 18 and Section 1812 and 18-14 of Chapter 18 of the Code of the Town of Cheektowaga. This board has reviewed the job duties and responsibilities of the town municipal officers, elected officials, and employees to ascertain who should file the financial disclosure statement. Now therefore be it resolved that those municipal officers, elected officials, and employees with the following job titles being hereby are required to file the annual statement of financial disclosure effective immediately.
Anybody on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carried.
Our next resolution is Resolution 102, and it's sponsored by Councilmember Rusiniak and seconded by Supervisor Benchkowski. Cheektowaga has constructed and presently operates a wastewater sewage network serving the residents of the town of Cheektowaga and portions of the town of Amherst. Amherst requests Cheektowaga to permit it the right to connect the call restroom concession facility. Use and right requested shall be limited to the discharge of sanitary sewage for a period of 10 years from the effective date of the agreement. The town supervisor being hereby is authorized to execute the agreement with the town of Amherst to permit it the right to connect the call restroom concession facilities to the Cheektowaga sewage facilities, subject to the review and approval of the agreement by the town attorney.
Anybody on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 3, 2021-103, sponsored by Councilmember Rusiniak and seconded by Supervisor Benchkowski. The town clerk be directed to publish a notice to bidders for the phase 7 of cleaning, televising, and rehabilitation of sanitary sewer facilities through cured in-place pipe, CIPP, for sewer shed number 4. It'll be bid number 2021-7 in the town of Cheektowaga. Said notice to be published in the Cheektowaga Bee and New York State Contract Reporter. Sealed bids will be received on the 24th day of March 2021 at 11 a.m.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Fourth resolution is 2021-104, and it's sponsored by Councilmember Noack, seconded by Councilmember Pilarski. The town of Cheektowaga desires to encourage a sufficient supply of adequate, safe, and sanitary dwelling accommodations properly planned for persons with low incomes. In accordance with the provisions of the Town Law Municipal Home Rule Law of the State of New York, a public hearing was held on the 11th day of June 2019 at 7 p.m. in which the hearing, all interested parties were given an opportunity to be heard regarding the rezoning of 600 Dote Street from residential senior district to apartment district. The town board hereby exempts the project from real property taxes to the extent authorized by section 577 of the PHFL and approves the proposed pilot agreement. The supervisor of the town is hereby authorized to execute and deliver the foregoing pilot agreement and any other necessary documents to effectuate the intent of the authorization on behalf of the town.
Anybody on the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Our next resolution, Resolution 5, 2021-105, sponsored by Councilmember Noack, seconded by Councilmember Pilarski. Campus Asset Holdings LLC commenced Article 7 proceedings in 2012 against the town, continuing for tax years 2012-13 through 2020-21, seeking a reduction in the assessment of property owned by them located at 3770 Union Road. Town Council and Town Assessor have reviewed the petitions and believe it is in the best interest of the town to resolve these matters without further litigation. The town board approves the above compromise and settlement, and the town council and B and hereby is authorized to execute and procure all papers necessary to effectuate the settlement of said Article 7 proceedings.
On the question, anyone? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 2021-106 is sponsored by Supervisor Benchkowski, seconded by Councilmember Hammer. Harris Beach PLLC has from time to time represented and currently represents the town of Cheektowaga in labor and employment matters. Harris Beach has been asked by the Lancaster Central School District to represent them with regard to a potential dispute involving a certain rezoning of land located at 6386 Transit Road. The town hereby acknowledges and authorizes Harris Beach representation of the district in connection with the new matter and hereby further agrees to waive any conflict of Harris Beach as a result of the representation.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Our last resolution item was added. That is going to be Resolution 2021-107, and that is sponsored by Councilmember Hammer and seconded by Supervisor Benchkowski. That is the resolution dated April 5th, 1993. This town board adopted a local law establishing a Board of Ethics Committee. Currently exists 2 vacancies on said board. Michelle Bliss and Joanne Pry of Cheektowaga, New York, being hereby are appointed to the Board of Ethics of the town of Cheektowaga, effective immediately, with said appointment for Michelle Bliss terminating on August 1st, 2023, and said appointment for Joanne Pry terminating on August 1st, 2024. Appointments are contingent upon execution of agreements of confidentiality.
Anybody on the question?
On the question,
Roll call vote.
Yes, roll call vote, Madam Clerk.
but wait, I would like to speak on the question prior to the vote.
Okay, yes, go ahead, Councilmember Noack, you have the floor.
Thanks. So back in March of 2020, we had 2 individuals resign from our Board of Ethics. And the Board of Ethics chairman on several occasions made us aware about a desire to fill the vacancies. January 26th, at our work session between 16 minutes and 30 seconds and 20 minutes in the film, you can see some discussion with myself and some of the other town board members on a need to fill those seats. I've expressed an interest in filling those in advance. and there was a move in the last few weeks to recruit candidates to fill the seats and to get that done. I'm thrilled to see that happen, and it's good to see that happen quickly. Following those discussions, I'm going to vote to make these appointments. I'm disappointed in the process and how that was done. I would have liked to see it happen differently. I think there were sincere, good intentions about getting to this resolution here. I have some concerns about process, and I just want that to be put out in the record. And I am going to vote yes along in favor of this.
Thank you, council member. Okay, anybody else on the question? Okay, we need a roll call vote, please, Madam Clerk.
Sure. Councilmember Adamsack,
Yes.
Councilmember Hammer,
Yes.
Councilmember Kaminsky,
Yes.
Councilmember Nowak,
Yes.
Councilmember Pilarski,
No.
Councilmember Rusiniak,
Yes.
Supervisor Benchkowski.
Yes. So we have 6 yeses and 1 no. Motion
Correct.
carried. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
We have Departmental Communications. We have minutes from the Veterans Affairs Committee of February 3rd, 2021. We received minutes from the Planning Board of February 11th, and we received a quarterly report from the Emergency Services Department for September to December 2020. Under General Communications, we have a notice of claim and 2 summonses.
Okay, just under supervisors' comments, I want to thank all the council members. This was a very long work session and meeting tonight. It was our first one with the new format. I think it's just going to take us some time to get the resolutions in sooner. So hopefully we won't have so many waiver items next time. And I do respect everybody's opinion. I think we worked very well together and got everything completed in a very professional manner. So thank you, everyone. Council members, comments?
Yeah, I want to second that. In the time I've been on the board, I've had very spirited and contentious discussions with colleagues about differences on issues. I had differences of opinion with some of these folks tonight, and it was much more calm, cool, collected, and respectful than it's been in a long time. It's taken us a little while, but I think we're learning each other's personalities and really figuring things out. We're doing our research, doing what we think is best for the town. So, thank you all.
Thank you, council members.
I'll second that, Brian.
Council
I
member.
want to congratulate both new appointees for the Board of Ethics. There's nothing against them. I think they're both great candidates. I just feel like we could have a larger pool. We didn't open it up. We didn't do as much advertising as I would have liked personally, so that's why I voted against it.
Understood. Anybody else have any comments? Okay, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. I need a second.
I'll second.
Okay, Councilmember Nowak, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
All right.